Jim, we are talking about Coach Wooden and his quotes, and this one I think you have some passion about. Never mistake activity for achievement. What do you think?
Yeah. Maybe one of my most favorite Coach Wooden comments, and it's just so applicable to today's youth basketball and pretty much all the other sports. Basics approach is that competition and competitive growth are barely related. They're barely related. People, many parents and programs, even some coaches think that we need to compete in order to improve. There's some merit in that, but a tiny amount, because if you're not prepared to compete, the outcome is a foregone conclusion. You're going to get your butts kicked. So why would we compete if we're not ready? So this comment, never mistake activity for achievement, plays right into that. There's all this activity about leagues and travel and tournaments and outcomes and results and standings and points and wins and losses. All that really matters is the kid developing? Is he or she improving? Because when November rolls around, and again, this is a different topic, all that matters is November. Are you ready when the school season begins? So there might be some argument there that other people think these out-of-season teams are important, or we should travel because other people are doing it, or we need to get quote-unquote exposure, which is a whole nother topic. All this activity often degrades the player's ability. They're not getting the reps. They're not getting the touches. They're getting outcomes, that's for sure, but they're really not ready, right? The activity and the achievement, they don't go hand in hand. So that was my first comment on that, and I'll throw it to Ken now.
Well, there's so much that applies outside of what you had talked about, but it does apply to this. I think it's a dilemma as a coach, and a dilemma certainly as an administrator. And I heard a similar quote that goes like this, and it's very, very similar to this. I think it speaks to me, is that there are no awards for busyness. Busyness is not a sign of achievement either. So I just changed that just a little bit, because in administration you can get caught up into 17-hour days, day after day. And there is not a badge of honor for people who are busy. It is, what have you accomplished in life? What are you doing in terms of learning and growing and caring about people? And there are times I learned this the hard way, I think, that just being busy is not a badge of honor. So translate that into the principle behind this quote as well, is sometimes student athletes think that they're growing because they're busy doing something, and it's not the stuff that's going to be helpful.
You know, another approach to this would be, instead of trying to measure our skill development via wins and points and rebounds, why not try to actually measure our skill development? We do this with basics. This is one of our principles. How good is your left hand? Can you cross over? Can you make an uncontested 15-foot shot with regularity? Right? These are measurable traits, measurable skills. So we think you should measure your activity via these skills. This is what we do, and then you can achieve. But one comes before the other. So if the one thing I really want the parents to understand is, don't confuse the competition with competitive growth. They're barely related, right? Kids often get worse. I know that might sound hyperbolic, but it's true. It makes sense. If you don't have skill and then you compete, you get your butts kicked, you think you're going to be animated to play and practice some more. You just got your butt kicked. Those kids are really good. We traveled 300 miles round trip, and we got nice uniforms. We're a team. Well, work on your skills first, and that will lead to achievement. So that's another podcast on a Coach Wooden comment, and stay tuned for the next installment. Thanks for listening.